Most people believe the solution to a bad credit score is simple. Pay your bills on time, keep your balances low, and wait. Simple, right? But here's the strange truth that no one in the financial system wants to admit. Millions of Americans are being judged by a number that is flat out wrong. Not slightly off, not a minor rounding error, wrong. Fabricated, sometimes by criminals, sometimes by the system itself. And here's the part that should make you stop scrolling. Most people never find out until it's too late. Marcus didn't. Marcus was 31 years old, making $68,000 a year, finally ready to buy his first home. He'd spent 3 years being careful, paying on time, saving up $22,000 for a down payment. He walked into that mortgage appointment feeling like he'd done everything right. And then the loan officer looked at the screen and said, "I'm sorry, we can't approve you. Your credit score is 511. Marcus nearly fell out of his chair. His score had been 724 just 8 months earlier. Something had gone catastrophically wrong, and it had nothing to do with anything Marcus had done. Here's the counterintuitive truth that the credit bureaus Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion don't advertise on their homepage. The credit report system is shockingly, embarrassingly error-prone, and the errors don't just sit there harmlessly. They destroy lives. In 2013, the Federal Trade Commission studied 1,001 consumers and found that 1 in 4, that's 25%, had at least one significant error on their credit report. 1 in 5 had an error serious enough to change their credit tier entirely. That means right now, roughly 45 million Americans are carrying a credit score that doesn't accurately reflect who they are as a borrower. But it gets stranger than that, because the errors Marcus found on his report weren't just small mistakes. There were 2 accounts on his file that he had never opened, a credit card from a store he'd never set foot in, a personal loan from a lender he'd never heard of. His address on file was a city he hadn't lived in since 2016, and his name was misspelled in a way that matched someone else entirely. Marcus wasn't a victim of sloppy data entry. He was a victim of synthetic identity fraud, a scheme where criminals blend real information with fake details to create a credit profile that looks real enough to borrow against. And because the system is automated, and because the bureaus process over 1.3 billion pieces of consumer data every single month, errors like this slip through constantly. The common assumption is that your credit report is a clean, accurate ledger of your financial life. The truth is, it's a database built and maintained by private corporations with profit motives, staffed by automated systems, and almost entirely unchecked unless you check it yourself. Let's look at exactly what happened to Marcus and what it cost him, because the numbers here are brutal. When his score dropped from 724 to 511, here's what changed in practical terms. A 30-year mortgage on a $320,000 home at a 724 score would have gotten Marcus an interest rate of approximately 6.8%. His monthly payment would have been around $2,093. At a 511 score, if he could get approved at all, he'd be looking at a rate closer to 9.5%. That same house, same loan amount, monthly payment $2,693, a $600 more per month. Over 30 years, that's an extra $216,000 in interest paid on the exact same house because of a fake account that a criminal opened without him ever knowing. And here's the treadmill visual that explains why this trap is so dangerous. Most people run faster, they work harder, earn more, try to compensate without ever questioning whether the ground beneath them is even real. They assume the system is accurate. They assume that if something were wrong, someone would have told them. They keep running. The number stays broken. Marcus spent 4 months in that treadmill. He kept trying to figure out what he'd done wrong. He paid off a small balance he had on a department store card, thinking that was the problem. He asked his bank to increase his credit limit, thinking that might help. None of it moved the needle because none of it addressed the actual problem. Data on his report that wasn't his. Here's the data point that really drives this home. According to a 2021 Consumer Financial Protection Bureau report, it takes the average consumer 90 to 180 days to successfully dispute and resolve a major credit report error. During those months, loan applications get denied, apartment applications get rejected, job offers at security-sensitive companies, jobs that require a background and credit check can fall through. This is not a minor inconvenience. This is a structural vulnerability in a system that has enormous power over your life. So how do you protect yourself? We're going to go through 5 rules. Think of these as your personal credit defense framework. Write them down. Rule 1. The verification question, is this mine? Most people look at their credit report and scan for negative marks. But the first question you should ask about every single account on your report is not, is this bad? It's, is this mine? Pull your free reports at annualcreditreport.com. This is the only federally mandated free source. Other sites are subscription traps and go line by line. Every account, every inquiry, every address. Ask, did I open this? Do I recognize this lender? Have I ever lived at this address? If the answer to any of those is no, that's your starting point. Rule 2. The invisible damage audit. Categorize every item on your credit report as either accurate or unverified. Don't use the word wrong yet, you're just flagging what you can and can't confirm. Unverified items become dispute candidates. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, which is the federal law governing this, requires credit bureaus to investigate any item you dispute within 30 days. If they can't verify the information is accurate, they must remove it. That's the law. You have more power here than you realize, but only if you actually use it. If the idea that 45 million people are walking around with someone else's debt on their credit report just explained why your score never seems to make sense no matter what you do, you are not alone. And you are not crazy. Hit subscribe right now. Every single week on Financial Smarts, we bring you one counterintuitive money truth that rewires how you think about the system. Not how to game it, how to actually understand it. Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss next week's video. Rule 3. Dispute in writing. Always. This is where most people make their biggest mistake. They call the credit bureau, they use the online dispute portal, and then the dispute disappears into an automated system that takes minimal action and sends back a form letter 45 days later saying verified without any real explanation. The more effective path, the one Marcus eventually used, is a certified mail dispute letter sent directly to the bureau and to the original creditor simultaneously. When you do this, you create a paper trail that has legal weight. If the bureau ignores your dispute or fails to investigate properly, that paper trail is your foundation for a lawsuit under the FCRA, which can award you up to $1,000 in statutory damages, plus actual damages and attorney's fees. Creditors and bureaus know this. A written dispute with a return receipt gets treated differently than a click checkbox on a website. Rule 4. Freeze your credit today, not later. A credit freeze, also called a security freeze, is free. It takes about 15 minutes across all 3 bureaus. It prevents any new lender from pulling your credit to open a new account in your name. It is the single most effective tool to stop synthetic identity fraud before it starts. You temporarily lift it when you need to apply for something. Then you refreeze it. This is not a dramatic step. This is the equivalent of locking your front door. And most people's front door has been wide open for years. If Marcus had had a freeze in place before the fraud occurred, those accounts could never have been opened. The criminal would have hit a wall. Game over. Rule 5. The 90-day monitoring habit. You're entitled to one free report from each bureau per year through annualcreditreport.com. That's 3 reports total. Smart consumers stagger them. Pull Equifax in January, Experian in May, TransUnion in September. That gives you a credit check every 90 days without paying for a monitoring service. You can also sign up for free alert services through the bureaus themselves, or through a verified third party like Credit Karma for TransUnion and Equifax data. Set a calendar reminder right now. 90 days. It takes 20 minutes. It can save you what Marcus lost, 4 months and potentially $216,000 in lifetime interest. Marcus's story does have a resolution. After 4 months of certified mail disputes, working with a consumer protection attorney, and filing a formal complaint with the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is a free government resource you should absolutely use, all fraudulent accounts were removed. His score climbed back to 718. He got his mortgage. He's in his house now. But those 4 months cost him. The original home he'd made an offer on sold to someone else while he was waiting. He ended up paying $8,500 more for a different home in a bidding situation he hadn't planned on. The system failed him and then charged him for the failure. Let's bring this home. The counterintuitive truth at the center of all of this is this. Your credit score doesn't measure your financial behavior. It measures what the bureaus have been told about your financial behavior. And what they've been told is sometimes wrong, sometimes outdated, and sometimes someone else's information entirely. The system is not your friend by default. It is a database. You have to audit it. 5 rules. Pull your full report and ask, is this mine, about every account. Audit every item as accurate or unverified. Dispute in writing with certified mail. Freeze your credit today and set a 90-day free report rotation on your calendar before you close this video. Marcus got his house, but he had to fight for it in a way he never should have had to. You now know more than he did before any of this happened. Use it. One final question for you, and I want you to answer this in the comments below. Have you ever pulled your full credit report and found something on there you didn't recognize? Comment the word "found" if you've spotted something that shouldn't be there, or comment "clean" if you've checked recently and everything matched. If you haven't checked at all, comment "shucking" now and go do it immediately after this video. I read every single comment in the first hour. If this video helped you today, share it with one person, a friend, a family member, anyone who's ever complained about their credit score without actually looking at their report. You might be doing them the most valuable financial favor of their life. I'll see you next week on Financial Smarts.